Let us talk about a key privacy principle, which is about collecting data. What should you collect? How much of it? Do you need everything or do you collect everything for the purpose of collecting? Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy. And as I said, we are going to talk about what to collect and how much to collect. Now, what could be variable, but how much is something which is very important as a key principle of privacy, and we call it data minimization, which means you should, when you are collecting information, be prepared to collect all that you need, use it, retain it. What? The minimum you need, not the entire stuff. And there are thousands and thousands of examples that you can have every time. And when you design the privacy model for your organization, or when you are designing the forms for collection of information, you realize many a times you will end up choosing fields which are not required, which you might think you may need later, but that does not help, right? This basic purpose or this basic principle of data minimization works very closely with the purpose limitation. The idea is that, okay, you want to collect data. Why? What is the purpose? What outcome would you deliver? Now, for that purpose and that outcome, you decide basic information, and we'll check in a few examples in the coming slides. It's very important because it helps you reduce your own risk, not only from the fact that data minimization is being spoken of with many regulators, but also with the fact that you collect lesser data and only the data you need. So you're not exposing non-required data to the breaches. Else, otherwise, you never required the data and you ended up having a breach for the data. It helps build trust because if you have defined the purpose properly, if you have defined what minimum data you need, then you are defining the trust. Your principal who is sharing his data would be more happy and consider it more trustworthy. Legal compliance, as I said earlier, also, all regulators are talking about collecting minimum possible data. So if you end up going to a regulator and there's a audit or assessment a regulator is doing and he finds that you are collecting more than what is required, then you can have compliance issues also. Your very purpose of compliance goes off. Minimum data, minimum resources required, better operational efficiency, and better accuracy because you are not processing unwanted and too much of data. It also helps you adhere to the purpose limitation and storage limitation. Now, storage limitation gets added here because it's not only that you're collecting excess data, it is also that you're storing excess data and for a longer time or for a lesser time with excess data. So, proper purpose, data accordingly. If no, if the data is beyond the purpose, then you are using too much storage also for it. Where should you apply this? Right the moment you define your purpose and you create the collection form. You should know what you need. What is the basic necessity that you need? Which fields are necessary? You should remove the fields that are not necessary. For example, a candidate applies for a job. Do you need his Aadhaar card in job application? No. You don't even need his Aadhaar or PAN number. Forget about banking information. So you are collecting only his contact details because that's where you want to talk to him if in case you schedule an interview for him and therefore afterwards defining his success or failure or his qualification for the job. In sales and marketing, if you are talking to a prospect, so let's take this. Collect data in phased manner. Collect a database, collect the phone numbers and name and maybe the email IDs. Do marketing, mail marketing, phone number marketing, telemarketing, whichever way. But only for the customers who mature into giving you orders, then you need the address for delivery, right? So collect the data in phased manner. If you have 1,000 user database, you might reach the address level of only 100 people. There's no point having address of the remaining 900 people. Simple. On top of it, you should define your retention periods for how long would you retain the data, when would you delete it, and finalize the purpose and the outcome that is going to be expected. And if your principal is clear on the outcome and the purpose, they'll be happy giving you the data. As a best practice, data collection should be purpose based. The audits should also be purpose based. Audit should also see if there is anything collected beyond the purpose, right? Assessment should be done accordingly. There should be a clear purpose defined in your privacy notices that would help build a lot of trust with your principals. No pre-filled forms. These days, even the browsers allow you to pick up data automatically, avoid that. Don't pick up anything not required. Minimum mandatory fields should be purposeful. Provide online help for user decision. This is important. If it's an online form, maybe put a small question mark at the end of the field where the user can take the cursor and see what is it exactly that you are trying to write and you are trying to ask them to put in. Train your team on the relevance of that particular data field and all the data that you are collecting rather than convenience. If you ask your team, collect the complete personal information of a prospect, they would jump around to collect the address also. They would say, we'll send them brochures. But in this current digital age, do you really send physical brochures? Unnecessarily collecting, and it helps them convenience because they would just pick up a standard form and send it for data collection. Something not very, very helpful. Provide opt-outs if you think there's a non-essential data, and very, very clearly define the retention policies of your data. When are you going to delete the data? Up till when is it retained? And automate your archiving and retentions if possible. Let your software, ERP, CRM should work accordingly. If you think that you wanted to keep the data for 3 years, like DPDP Act is talking to e-commerce companies, fine. Then my system should automatically judge and purge this data after 3 years and maybe keep a log that data of XYZ has been purged. So that's about data minimization, a very, very important principle under data privacy. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.